tables on the other side.
Okay, shout it.
Yes.
Are all the wood kids over here?
All the wood kids are over here. Waterfall wellness this side. Patients. Waterfall wellness on this side. Okay. Waterfall wellness on this side. Hey, welcome.
Okay, these two are.
We had a wonderful catering from Zante's Indian food, which I think everybody is enjoying thoroughly. I want to make sure that everybody takes a moment to sign our petition, which I'll read. And we will be going around with some more beverages for everyone. We have some wonderful songs. Hundreds are going to be ordered to shut their doors. Hundreds upon hundreds of clubs. That was a vote that happened yesterday that did not go well for the medical cannabis community. We lost the entire city of Los Angeles. That is really hardcore. The thing that's even more hardcore about it is Los Angeles had no concept whatsoever of compassionate care. So the few folks there that actually had a connection that were poor are shit out of shedizzle because there's nothing there in moments. When they said, what are they going to do to close them down, they went into closed session, which means that they're talking with law enforcement to make sure that the clubs do close. That's really sad, you guys. That's really a sad state of affairs.
The closed door stuff.
We have a section of SF providers that will be closing as of July 31st. So, and we have the impending closure East Bay. So we're looking at trying to really help the people that are really going to be left without any safe access. So because of this, Axis of Love's HIV group came up with a petition which is now supported by Patients for Compassionate Use Policies and the Patient Advocacy Committee of the Medical Cannabis Task Force. And I'm going to read the petition to you. I hope you've signed it. I really do.
I did.
And it goes. Patients before profits. Dear President Obama and Congress, we, the undersigned, agree to the following solutions to the current crisis in affordable and legal access to medical cannabis. Enact the Truth in Trials bill introduced, which provides for a medical defense for cannabis, and that's on the national federal level. That was introduced last week by a whole host of bipartisan people in Congress. We have yet to have Nancy Pelosi's name on it. One of our goals is to get her name on it. Second, include medical cannabis in President Obama's health care plan. You think that's a good idea?
Yeah!
That's what I wanted to hear was the hell yeah. Okay, so
hell
we talk about affordable medicine except for the only medicine that we want.
Yeah.
And that helps, and that is non-toxic. That doesn't work. So then the third, and this is an important one because a lot of people say, oh, we just have to reschedule cannabis. Do you want cannabis on the controlled substance schedule?
No!
Okay, the controlled substance schedule is for dangerous things like cocaine, like heroin, methamphetamine, yeah, that's a dangerous thing. What we want is we want to deschedule cannabis, take it off the Controlled Substance Act and categorize it as a botanical remedy, right?
Yeah.
want to end the prohibition of cannabis and empty our prisons of poor and minorities who are unjustly targeted and nonviolent members of our community. Anybody agree with that?
Hell yeah!
Because at the core of this issue is ending prohibition. The reason why our medicine is expensive is prohibition pricing.
Yeah.
The reason why our jails are filled with people that wouldn't ever think of harming another person is because of prohibition. We want to discern agendas between an industry lobbyist and a patient advocate. Industry goals promote restrictive permits and excessive fees to obtain mixed bud monopolies. So what we mean by that is that there's a huge difference between someone who is paid lobbyists. Do you think a paid lobbyist for the medical cannabis industry is working on your behalf?
No.
No. Do you think a patient advocate is?
Yeah.
So we know that difference. Just now, our city hall is learning that difference. Just now, our government is finally understanding that much like the AIDS movement had to have a big battle with Big Farm, we need to have our big battle with Big Pot and let them know that they don't determine the rules for us.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah.
Basically what they do is they go in, they lobby behind closed doors and make sure that there's only a few permits available, and then they grab those permits. That is not okay. We need as many small businesses as possible to serve medical cannabis. We need patient advocates to stand up for our own rights. Notice no national policy org has medical cannabis included in the Obama Affordable Health Care Plan as their top priority. Gee, I wonder why.
Even the state, California says, yes, do what you want, have all these clubs. The federal government is still going to say no.
Well,
because we're not giving them enough tax.
well, you know, it might have something to do with taxes, but I think it has a lot more to do with how we've organized our quote-unquote industry so far.
Yeah, plus they want to put it on the streets that way more people.
Now that I'll agree with you on. That I will agree with you on. They want to put more people in jail. We want to prioritize a patient advocate agenda as we are direct stakeholders of our affordable care. Patients before profits. If you haven't signed it, please do. And we are going to be bringing this to the steps of City Hall August 14th. And we are going to be doing a compassion action that day. And I need to see you guys there. I always invite you guys and I never see you, and I'd love to see you there. And Oscar's got his hand up. Yes, sir.
I feel if they're going to close our dispensaries, why don't we demand a tax back?
Well, because I agree, it's taxation without representation, but they wouldn't give it back to you, they give it back to the wealthy business owners. So I don't know if I put that on the top of the list, but I definitely think that taxation without representation is an issue here. We got one other hand up. Yes, sir.
I'd like to know why no one here has looked at Colorado's medical marijuana. It's controlled by the state, and nobody seems to want to arrest the state of Colorado.
Actually, that's not true. They're closing the dispensaries in Colorado, too. And they're doing it. They're shutting down Colorado. You're not the only person who thinks, hey, sir, you're not the only, there was a rumor going around that, hey, look at Colorado, Colorado's fine. No, it's not. Several dispensaries are getting closed. Public officials are getting intimidated and threatened by the federal government, and they're not saying that Colorado's okay either. So we really need to focus on the patient's rights first. We really need to focus on that nationally and get into Obama's affordable health care. And it's being talked about online, and not only that, We have started communicating with a patient group in Maine who is demanding the same things that we've demanded, as well as the sliding scale for people on SSI and any other type of government relief and veterans. So it's not just us now. There's a whole other group like us in Maine who are fighting for the same thing. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I'm wondering if we should direct that petition to Melinda Haig, because Melinda Haig is the one that is rallying and lobbying and putting out nominations against medical marijuana.
It would seem like a good thing to do. And before, I've turned over, does anybody remember my friend Scott Fell, who went to prison, who used to come to the dinners and help us out? So
Yes.
He's in jail right now. And I'll tell you what I learned from that experience. We heavily petitioned Melinda Haig. She doesn't care, and she's made that clear. The DOJ is simply doing their job, that she is an investigator of white-collar criminals, and they are looking at some of the dispensary owners as profiteers and white-collar criminals, and a few of them may be. I'm not going to stand here and tell you, hey, all these guys have played fair. They absolutely have not.
A lot of
Then
businesses
they
don't.
need to investigate them about finances, not about cannabis.
A lot of
Because if
businesses
we
don't.
have, they need to be investigated, but the patients don't need to be denied safe access. That executive needs to be investigated, and that's the message we need to get to Melinda Haig as patients, right? Yes, sir.
The pot clubs. Because the rest of the pot clubs didn't get shut down, and they don't look like they're gonna, like there's Hemp Center, there's Green Door, there's Slum Shack, there's a whole bunch of them. There's Grassroots. I mean, the baby tree on the other corner got busted, but they didn't. Grassroots didn't. What's going on with that?
So what's going on with that is they have a very nice plan that they've laid out that's worked for thousands of years, and it's called Divide and Conquer. That's what's going on with that. The business community still hasn't pulled together. Every time I ask a friend who owns a medical cannabis business, so are you guys sitting down and working this out? No, they're just waiting for the next guy to close so that they can make sure that they have their clientele. We don't have a lot of good communication going on with the business community, which is part of the problem. And the feds have executed a very well-oiled machine that basically operates on divide and conquer, you know, and it works really well with capitalists. It doesn't work so well with people that care about people, and there's a few people left on the ground that care about people, that are communicating with each other about helping out each other's patients. Those people are in the minority. The majority of folks just think, hey, at least I have another 4 months to go here, and I'm going to make thousands a day, and then I'll make even more because these guys are going to shut down and blah, blah, blah. I mean, you guys can all imagine how this goes down, right? Nobody here is too naive about how capitalistic businesses can operate, and that's part of the sad thing is we need to get back rooted into our original roots of compassionate care.
Are they going to get shut down eventually or no?
Yes, I think that I think the feds are not going to leave a single commercial retail cannabis center on the ground if they can help it. They're not favoring anybody. You know, they're just systematically cutting it down and using divide and conquer. Cece?
Yes, I just want to say to everybody, you know, we really need to get on saving these clubs in the city, because on the news the other day they closing every club in Los Angeles. It will not be no clubs open in Los Angeles. And that's very close to San Francisco. So if you fighting for your medicine, we really need to start getting on it now and getting on it heavy.
We need to get on making sure that we have affordable health care and that we support the providers that have supported the patient movement. I agree. I'm not going to put myself out there for people that have just slammed the door in my face when I went into the back room to talk to them about affordable health care for low-income people. You will not see me running out for folks that don't care about people. It's just not going to happen. Yes, sir, in the back. I agree with you. Where are the checks and balances against monopolies? Antitrust laws are laws still. So you guys, if you haven't signed the petition, please do today. Remember that on August 14th at noon, we're going to be in front of City Hall. Please sign the petition. Please leave your contact because we will call or email you about the rally on the 14th. I've spoken enough, so I'm going to let John Dyer take us out of here with a little bit of music. And, oops, I got one hand in the back for Marquise. Marquise? I have no idea. I'm not involved in that. But there may be a rally on the 1st for particular businesses that have closed.
Yeah, already.
Any other comments before we get back to some music here? No? Oh, one. Yes, sir. What's that? So August 14th, steps of City Hall, not the side that has the playgrounds, but the side that has a road in front of it, so that we're not near the playgrounds. I don't want to give them any excuse to arrest me.
I know.
We will be doing a compassion action on August the
Okay.
14th with the Patient Advocacy Committee of the Medical Cannabis Task Force. So I want to give it up to Mr. John Dyer to take us into some beautiful music world for a moment.